One of the things I forgot to add when discussing the agenda of feminism under sexual freedom is they also want women to have the freedom to choose, the right to choose. So, reproductive rights, the freedom to terminate a pregnancy or get an abortion if you want or need one, is what the feminist agenda is also about. Sexual freedom also means women having sexual autonomy and the right to make decisions about reproduction. So now let's look at the waves of the feminist movement. The first wave started in 1840, went till 1920, and the first thing on the agenda was the right to vote, as well as equal opportunities in education. And again, that was secured for white women in 1920. The unfortunate history of the early feminist movement or suffrage movement is that they cast black women aside because the Southern Democrats were not willing to support the 19th Amendment if it also included black women. So Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton and others decided to cut black women like Ida B. Wells and Mary Church Terrell from the fight or the struggle for women to get the right to vote. So it was a betrayal based on race. Now, the second wave of the feminist movement started in the 1960s, and it was sparked by a book by a feminist named Betty Friedan, who wrote a book called The Feminine Mystique. And in her book, she interviewed a number of women across the country, mostly, well, not mostly, they were all white women who were middle class. They went to good colleges and things of that nature, and then they became housewives. But they were bored and they were frustrated. They wanted to get back into the working world. They wanted employment opportunities and equal pay when they did decide to work outside of the home. And they also wanted sexual freedom and reproductive rights for women. So they were fighting for access to the birth control pill as well as a legal abortion. Now, if you want to see a film about this, She's Beautiful When She's Angry. It was available some time ago on Netflix. You might still be able to see it on Netflix. She's Beautiful When She's Angry. It's about the feminist movement, mainly the second wave in the 1960s, and it is a wonderful documentary. So if you can check it out, if you don't see it on Netflix, try YouTube. It might be on there. And then there was the third wave of the feminist movement. Now remember how I mentioned that the white feminists betrayed the black feminists to get the right to vote in 1920 or up until that point. Well, this was a way to reconcile the movement because there's no way women are going to achieve any real equality if we're divided along the lines of race, ethnicity, religion, and so forth. So we've all got to come together. And what needed to happen was that agenda for women had to include women of all backgrounds. So the third wave of the feminist movement started in the 1970s and is currently going on today. It's focused on diverse perspectives in the feminist movement. Women of color face something called intersectional discrimination. It is discrimination based on race, class, and sex. Again, intersectional discrimination, race, class, sex. Women face discrimination based on the fact that they're women. But if you're black, you're also facing racism, for instance. And then if you're poor, you're facing classism. And if you throw sexuality in there, if you are a gay woman, now you have your sexual orientation working against you. So intersectional discrimination deals with the three prongs of oppression for women of color. It's been said before that if you free the black woman, you free everybody. Because if you free the black woman, you free women. And if you free the black woman, you free black people and other groups of color. Because in her, she embodies all the different prongs of oppression.